Hello, beautiful friend, and welcome to your Sex and Money Report for July 2017. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I am your host for this exploration of the cosmos. I publish regular reports for the Sun, Venus, and the new and full moon phases as they happen each month. You can sign up to have this podcast and blog delivered right to your inbox on my website, www.crystallinbell.com/astrology subscribe. All right, let's tuck into today's topic, Venus in Gemini. Venus moves into Gemini on Wednesday, July 5th at 2:11 a.m. That's in my time zone. I'm in Zagreb, Croatia, so that's Central European summertime, 2:11 a.m. This is a very good time. Venus in Gemini is a very good time for creative solutions to problems, an intelligent approach to sexy time, and a smartening up of your money mind. One of my favorite things is awakening to the morning sky from my apartment here in Zagreb, Croatia. I set my alarm to wake me up at 4:15 because I am naturally a morning person, and I like that by 9:30 a.m. on any given day, I've probably already done my marathon training, written an article, and seen a client or two for spiritual empowerment coaching, which is what I do. Morning is really my time. Here in Zagreb, I have an apartment that sits on a hill facing east. So upon rising, I am greeted with one of the prettiest sights, Venus just above the horizon, underlit beautifully by the sun. This is a really important phenomenon for many reasons. First of all, I am a natural astrologer who has been in relationship with all of the celestial bodies since I was a kid. And of course, we all have. It's just that I have been conscious of them as viable entities for all of my life. I don't see dead people, I see astrology. Looking toward the heavens is innate in me. I have Sun and Venus in Aquarius, and I also have Aquarius on the ascendant, so I'm an Aquarius rising. That's a lot of cosmic propensity in one little body. Also, I am on a quest for the Holy Grail. I'm a total tender-hearted idealist in search of the ultimate cup of the heart. And it is just so happens that when I was born in Oakland, California 47 years ago, Venus and the Sun were transiting directly over Zagreb, Croatia. So here I am, it's 1970 at 7:51 a.m. on January 26th. I'm in Oakland, all right? In Oakland at the time of Black Panthers, and my mom had an afro, right? I'm in Oakland, and the Venus and the Sun are patterning the world. They're transiting the world as they do, and they're passing directly over Zagreb, Croatia, where 47 years, 47 by the way, 4 plus 7 is an 11, exactly where I am today. Okay, more on that later. I'm going to get back into the report. Venus and the Sun are always traveling together, moving around the world, leaving their energetic imprint on us. Kind of like contrails from an airplane, only not so hazardous. The Sun rules our sense of authority in the world. It's our sense of self, our energy, our outward expression of personhood. The Sun is our right to author our lives. And Venus rules how we connect in the world. It is our way of loving, of expressing ourselves, our sense of beauty, and our way of incoming. Haha. Incoming or incoming? I mean, incoming as in how we make money, and not incoming as an incoming missile. Venus focuses on the loot. She's all about the money. She's all about profit. That's just the way she is. You cannot call her a hoe because she's Venus, and she's naturally about the money because she is the flow of money. Money incoming, your income, and your outgo, which we're going to talk a little bit about later. So here I am living in Zagreb, directly beneath the path of authority from the sun, and from Venus, love, beauty, and income. So yeah, waking up to this glorious spectacle every morning where there's this beautiful sky and Venus sparkling like a diamond, and the sun is turning the sky these beautiful colors. There's yellow and green and blue and orange and pink, and it's just amazing. It's glorious. And it's a mirror of my soul. So right now, the sun is in Cancer, which means that our interior emotional world is highlighted. This can be good or bad depending on how you feel about feeling your feelings and dealing with your emotions. If you like being consciously aware of your dark and mysterious psyche and your processes, then you're probably loving this transit. I know that I am. But if you don't like those emotional rumblings and the expansive feelings of your intuition, then you're probably going to be suffering until July 23rd, when the sun moves into the much lighter sign of Leo. And please don't be misled into thinking that you are only the sign under which you are born, and that you're not affected by the other signs that the sun transits during the rest of the year. So I'm an Aquarius, but when the sun moves into Cancer, I'm a Cancer. And when the sun moves into Virgo, I'm a Virgo, as are you. So just like you are affected by the different phases of the moon, of Mercury when it's retrograde, Mercury when it's direct, Venus, and all the other planetary transitions throughout the signs, your personality changes as the sun transits and the year progresses. Each month, we become like the sign the sun is transiting. So if you want, and I'm inviting you, you can hop on my blog at www.crystallinbell.com/blog, and you can read my monthly updates that I call We Are All a Little Blank, okay? So this month we're in Cancer. So the post you're going to look for is We Are All a Little Cancer. Next month, or at the end of this month, or actually in 3 weeks, on the 22nd, the sun's going to move into Leo. So I'm going to have a post there called We Are All a Little Leo. And that's going to be there for you to read and learn about how you're going to be more like the mighty, roaring lion. Very exciting stuff. All right, so at the time that I wrote this article about Venus in Taurus, it's July 2nd. So she doesn't actually move into Gemini until for another 3 days. And I like to post my insights a little early so that you can prepare. If you're like me, okay, so I really care about this information and I like to know what's going to happen ahead of time so that I can kind of watch and prepare myself. So especially when I am in turmoil. And right now with the sun in Cancer, all of us, our innards are illuminated. The sun is shining, and Cancer is more of an inward sign. It's about shadow. It's about the moon. It's about what you're feeling inside. It's about your intuition. And for me, when my intuition is highlighted, because I'm already naturally intuitive as an Aquarius, I'm very much in tune with my intuition. When the sun moves into Cancer, my intuition moves from being really connected into my head, but dominated in my body. So my emotions are really strong right now. I'm always on the verge of tears, even when I'm happy. Like right now, I'm doing this podcast and I'm looking out. Man, if I can show you the sky right now, it is like something out of a painting. There are these big fluffy clouds, and there's this green tree line, and these red tiled houses with the tiles of the roof tiles are red, and it's gorgeous. And there's still this tremendous feeling of connection that I just want to surrender, and I want to release, and I want to be a puddle of tears. But I'm not going to do that right now. So when there's a shift in the energy, so we're moving from Venus in Taurus into Venus in Cancer, I like to know that there's a shift happening because I feel it. And I like to know intellectually what's going on with me emotionally and spiritually. I like to have access to everything, every bit of information. That's my nature. So if you're not accustomed to feeling into the influence of the planets, I want to give you an opportunity to do so right now. So, as I said, Venus has been in Taurus, and she's been there since June 6th. I want you just to think back over the last month and ask yourself if you've noticed any kind of a rosy tint to your material world perspective. So perhaps there was an increase in your sensuality and your search for pleasure. Maybe there was a heightened sense of sexuality. Maybe an emphasis on presenting yourself in a more beautiful way. Venus is the planet of beauty, sex, and money, and she's the natural ruler of the sign of Taurus. So when she's transiting Taurus, as she did for a whole month, from June 6th to July 6th or something like that, it's like 30 days of her being in Taurus and us feeling more Taurian. We're more Taurian in our feeling nature, more Taurian in our relationships, and more Taurian in our nose for money. Now, if this is really interesting to you, you can hop on my blog and read my article about Venus in Taurus called Love Me, Sex Me, Money Me. And in that blog, you can explore and get insights about why last month you were just so damn sexy. We were all just so damn sexy last month. I know I felt it. I bet you felt it too. You may not have known what was going on, because if you're not like totally into this astrology stuff, and especially if you're just kind of turning this podcast on as someone who's, new to this thing, then yeah, you may not be so aware. I'm going to say though, just start following the stars and the planets and seeing how much magic is out there for us, how much the world is reflecting us back to us, and how affected we are by it all. All right, so you can take those insights from last month and compare them to this month as Venus enters Gemini on July 5th. All right, so you're probably seeing that I love astrology, and I want you to learn to see yourself in it and how it affects you in subtle and beautiful ways. Our personal astrology is the blueprint for the soul's journey. And although we can totally live happy and fulfilling lives without ever knowing a lick about astrology, if you're reading this article, you're probably a human being that has a sense of the other world. And I want to be your trustworthy guide in exploring the other world that lives inside of you. My astrology articles are meant to help you awaken to the subtleties of what spiritualists call the mystery. The more we awaken to the mystery, the more we can relax into its embrace and allow it to unfold. It's a lot easier to surrender when your mind is on board with the universe's workings as opposed to resisting them. So, as I said, I like to know about how I'm feeling emotionally. I like to know what the stars are doing. I want to know what the planets are doing in a way that's kind of resistant in and of itself, okay? I'm acknowledging that my Aquarianness, my brainiac air sign mentality might be resisting the universe's natural flow. But I am a human being. I've been blessed with a brain, as we all have, and so I like to use it. All right, so this is really important as Venus moves from Taurus into Gemini, because Taurus and Geminis are really different signs, particularly when it comes to love, sex, and money. Those are all Venus sectors. So when Venus was in Taurus, there was a sense of ease, flow, and beauty in these things. Taurus is an earth sign and very much about the body. And so it was easy to feel and intuit our way through the world of finances, relationships, and especially intercourse. And I'm talking about the sex. If you were lucky enough to be having it, you might have found that it came easier last month. And not that it won't be easy this month, but last month had a very special Taurian earthy body, voluptuous juiciness, prosperousness, abundant, connected to earth feel to it. All right, enough about that, for the moment anyways. As Venus moves into Gemini, we are moving upward into the realm of our heads. Gemini is an air sign, and although a very sexy sign, it is sexy for different reasons than Taurus is sexy. Gemini is sexy because of its wit. It is a thinking sign, powered by thought, and driven by ideas. It is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about speed, communication, and enterprise. Gemini is expansive and curious. When the planet of love and beauty moves into Gemini, our interactions become beautiful at the level of the mind. Our flirtations become less about eye-gazing and more about playful head-butting. You can tell a Gemini man likes you by the number of insults and challenges he throws your way. With Venus in Gemini, our sex appeal comes from the proper use of mind, playful flirtation. So let's look at Gemini for a bit. Now, if you want, you can check out my previous Sun report, We Are All a Little Gemini, to explore the energies around us last month and to learn a bit about the nature of Gemini. But for now, I want you to understand the great opportunity we have here. Gemini is the sign of communication, and it doesn't matter what kind of communication, verbal, written, body language, ESP, this is all Gemini's domain. Trade and transportation fall in here too, and all things enterprise. When Venus comes into Gemini, there is a beautifying of all of these things. Just watch and see. Notice how lovely your speech is going to get, how clear your mind is going to become, how sparkly and successful your business endeavors will become over the next 3 weeks. You might actually find yourself thinking, gosh, when did I get so clever? When Venus is in the morning sky at 4:15 a.m., for me here in Zagreb, she is like a 100-carat diamond against a velvety blue backdrop. Sharp facets and high contrast make for an exquisitely beautiful scene. This is what happens when the soft femininity of Venus illuminates the masculinity of Gemini. It's like really good sex, friends, up in your head. Playful friction and the tension of the masculine-feminine polarities lead to explosions of joy. Look out. I'm cracking myself up right now because this sounds pornographic. And true. This is a very good transit. It is a transit of sociability and relationships. It's summertime. We're wearing less clothing. We're showing off more skin. Are you taking care of yourself? How is your skin, your hair, your nails? When was the last time you exfoliated, got a manicure? Maybe a little baking soda scrub on your teeth to give them a little perk and shine. It's important that our outsides reflect the beauty within. Venus's movement through the constellations is really exciting because we all have a natural drive and appreciation for love and beauty within us. Hell, we are love and beauty. This has nothing to do with the media's thin and superficial standards of beauty and love, but it has very much to do with our natural divine state. We are God, Goddess, having a human experience. We are love and beauty expressing themselves in our human experience. And these things have nothing to do with the size of our boobs, or the size of our waist, or the color of our hair, or the number of years we've been hanging out on the planet. It has everything to do with our willingness to love ourselves, to be ourselves, and to share ourselves. This is the beauty of what Venus in Gemini is offering us. Hey, lovely friend, you have a beautiful mind that is dual. It is masculine and feminine, light and shadow, helpful and unhelpful, focused like a laser, and groggy as hell. Venus is coming in to highlight all of it and flow it into beauty and grace. You won't have to try with Venus here. You will just have to flow. Get out of the way and let her work her magic. So what does this mean in practical terms? Okay, well, expect to find yourself more fertile in your mind. You can expect to have more ideas flowing, and since Gemini is essentially optimistic, you should expect to see more possibilities, even when there were none before. So don't be afraid to go back and revisit some old ideas and things that you thought were dead, but you really want to be alive. Go see if they need to be revived. Although this is not a retrograde period, thank goodness, but if you want to revisit something, it's okay. All right, so you do want to be careful here, as Venus has us seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. You can very easily get carried away by your own charm with this transit, so be careful. You don't get to just have the cake and eat it. You have to watch how much you eat, and you don't want to spike your sugar levels. What I mean is, while Venus is turning on your charm, you should take care to not get caught up in the rhetoric that you're laying down. As you're in the world of thought and your ideas all look fantastic, you would do well to add in a good, conscious dose of critical thinking to the mix. You don't have to become negative Nancy, but you do want to step back and sprinkle a little grounded wisdom into your creative process. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, as I've said 100 times already. It's known for its quickness. Mercury is known for its quickness. not its depth. It's not to say that Geminis are not deep. They're very deep. But the nature of Mercury is fast. And it's not going to stay in one spot a long time. Depth is about Saturn. Saturn is going to stay in your house or in a house for 2 years, okay? Mercury is going to stay for what? A few days, okay? So Mercury is not about depth. You, my friend, have to be present in your mind and your body to keep yourself grounded. I would suggest that during this time of lightning fast thought and communication, that you do some kind of grounding practice in the morning before starting your day. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, I'm a big proponent of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Just awaking with a prayer that says something to the effect of, make my communication grounded in wisdom, will go a long way in helping the universe guide your actions and behaviors in a mature way over the course of the day. If you work as a writer or speaker, you work in communications, marketing, or trade, or if you have your own business, you will want to pay special attention to the energies right now. The sun in Cancer might be making you a little foggy in your head because you are feeling the pull of your shadowy interior world very strongly. I do not like that foggy head feeling at all, okay? I like a clear head. I'm an Aquarius, okay? I wake up at 4:15 in the morning. I like to be sharp, okay? 4:15, I'm a little groggy. 4:30, I'm wide awake and ready to go running. Like seriously, I'm bounding out of the door for a run with the music on and I'm like do, like head is bobbing, okay? So what's happening though with the sun in Cancer is that the sun is illuminating our shadow. And so it's lowering our energy and draining our focus. Mars is also in Cancer too, which is making us overly critical, and particularly overcritical of ourselves. Mars is in Cancer. Cancer, again, is that shadowy energy. Mars is a get it done type of energy. And Cancer is a let's experience this in a slow unfolding type of energy. Mars in Cancer can make us very grumpy. So add that to being overly critical, even though we're working very hard, it can make us a little bit nutsy cuckoo. So it's very challenging to move forward with enthusiasm when your inner critic is subconsciously saying that you're not good enough or you're not doing something right or, you could have done this better. Maybe you should go back. There's just a lot of questioning going on right now. There's a bit of self-doubt. Some of us might find that our confidence is a little shaky with the sun in Cancer. Venus's move into Gemini will add levity to this experience. And so you will appreciate the movement from the comfort of Taurus to the more sharp and refined position in the mind of Gemini. You will be bright like a diamond with all the sharp facets to serve your dreams and any problems you may be facing. Again, be sure to ground your new ideas and vision in reality. Keep your feet on the ground while you enjoy the light in your head. Use this Venus in Gemini transit to explore how you can be creative with business and ideas. Don't try to take action on those ideas right now because you're going to have so many of them. And to be honest with you, some of them are not going to be as good as you think because you're wearing those rose-colored glasses of Venus. But write them down, sit with them, chew on them, try them on, research them. If they are sound ideas after 3 weeks, then definitely put them into action. But don't be surprised if more than a few of them can't hold water. All right, and look, I'm telling you to hold off for 3 weeks. you don't have to hold off for 3 weeks. If your intuition and your gut instinct says go, you go. You always follow your instincts. This advice that I'm offering in this column are really about giving you a perspective, not like holding you prisoner to this thing that I'm saying, okay? This is loose framework. There are many other factors that are at play. This is a general energy that's here, and it's here to serve you. If it doesn't feel like it's serving you, then you let it go and you move on, knowing that your instinct is always right for you. Okay? I'm an expert in this stuff, but you are an expert in your world, and your expertise always is over my expertise when it comes to you. All right, now what about money? Geminis love to spend money. They love it. Donald Trump, by the way, is a Gemini. Did you know that? Of course you knew that because he announced his birthday a number of times on his birthday. I think it was June 14th, maybe it was June 13th. By the way, I was at a bar hanging out, and I had my computer, and we were doing some astrology. There were these two girls, and we just started talking about Donald Trump. We started talking about astrology. I got the bright idea to run Donald Trump's birthday through my astrology software, right? I prepare astrology reports. And I'm like, I got his birth data, I got his birth time, I got his birthplace. I put it all in my astrology report. And that astrology report was off the chain. I'm going to publish that on my blog. It is beautiful because number one, it says so much about who he is. And to be honest with you, okay, now please don't assume that you know my politics because I'm talking about Donald Trump. I don't like for anybody to assume anything about me. And I don't like anybody to assume anything about anybody. I don't want anybody looking at me and saying, okay, because you look this way and because you speak this way and because you do this, you must do that. Don't like it at all. Please don't put me in a box, even though I'm going to put you in a box because I'm talking about astrology. Ha 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 ha. Oh, the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy. All right. With that being said, I'm about to put Donald Trump in a box, okay? Actually, I'm not going to put him in a box because I'm not going to analyze him here, but I am going to do a write-up about his absolutely gorgeous chart. When you see his chart as it came directly from my software, you're going to be like, wow, this astrology stuff is for real. It even says, there's one point in his chart where it's like, yeah, dude, you might want to run for president because your crazy ass will make it happen. And I just loved reading that because it just helps me to see. It confirmed for me, as does my own life confirm for me, that there is a divine plan, and it is not just about one person's personality dominating. It is about all of us co-creating, and there's no way that Donald Trump did that by himself. We were all, whether you voted for him or not, we're all contributing to the collective experience that we're having here on planet Earth. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. So Geminis love to spend money. They just really love it. And Venus loves beautiful things and incoming. Venus does not work for her money, but she does love income. Am I contradicting myself here? Maybe. No, I'm not. I'm not contradicting myself at all. You might be asking yourself, well, how can Venus rule hard-working Taurus and income but not work for it? Well, my friends, this is a difficult lesson for us to learn, and one that I try to share slowly with my audience in small bites. For now, just try to accept that Venus is a goddess and that goddesses do not work for money, ever. Goddesses create and they extend themselves into the world, and money flows to them by virtue of their nature. It's two different things, right? Creation, money, work, different things, all different. It's the same for you because money is, and here's an, is it an, oh Lord Almighty. And okay, I cannot say this word. And okay. It's the word when you have you take a word and you take the letters of each word and make them mean something else. Okay, I think it's an acronym, but I want to call it an anaconda. I don't know why. An anaconda, I think, is a snake. All right? It's crazy up in here. Let it be crazy. The acronym for money is, my own natural energy yield. Money is my own natural energy yield. So what I'm doing by sharing this is I'm slowly working to help you realize that you don't need to work for your money, but rather your work is an extension of your being, and your money is a natural return on what you put out and in full capacity of what you're willing subconsciously to embrace. So your work is an extension of your being. That's one thing. And your money is the natural return on what you put out energetically and what you're willing to subconsciously receive and embrace. So in our collective consciousness, we kind of have it wrong because we've linked our work with our creativity, and then we've linked that to money. And we say that, well, if I'm creative and if I work, then I'm going to make a lot of money. And therefore, if I don't work and I don't create, then I don't make a lot of money or I don't make any money at all. Yeah? So we actually believe in our collective consciousness that money comes to us by virtue of hard work. And I'm just saying that there is a lot of challenge to that. There's a lot of contradictions in the world that show that, that doesn't make sense what I said. What I mean is that there are a lot of contradictions and there are a lot of challenges to the idea that money comes to us by virtue of hard work or by virtue of work. Now, look, there's a lot of evidence that says, yeah, you work, you get paid. There's a lot of people, and I know a lot of people here in Zagreb, Croatia, right where I am right now, a lot of people are working for organizations and they've not been paid for months because of weird, fucked up bureaucracy and weird, fucked up systems, right? So the people are still living and they're working and they've not gotten a paycheck. And there's not necessarily a voice to help them get paid. They just have to wait it out until the employer works out their shit and pays them or the company goes under. That's not just here in Zagreb. There are lots of people that work really, really hard and they get pennies a day. There are lots of people who do no work and they get tons of money a day. That money is working for them or working for itself. I'm just saying that we have to rethink our money consciousness. And we need to very gently, in our own capacity, I think it's great to start thinking about money in terms of money and your work in terms of your work and your creative outlet in terms of your creative outlet, and understand that your nature, your energy is money and that it can come and flow to you. All right, while Venus is in Gemini, take that on. Consider that, because that's a really smart way to use this Venus and Gemini transit, especially if you'd like to have see more money flowing into your world. Okay, I can get off on tangents. I lose my place, man. What am I talking about? What was I talking about? So look, I have on my blog, there are comments. There's a comment section at the end of the blog. Feel free, whether you're listening to the podcast or if you're on the actual blog page, just leave your comments there. If you agree with what I'm saying, if you have questions, if you think I'm talking bullshit, go ahead and share. Be nice. Be nice, but share away, because this is really fun for me. Believe it or not, this is fun. This is my job. This is my job. This is how I spend my time. It's not really like a job. It's my joy. JOB, JOY. Those are very closely related. Obviously, we did that on purpose because your job should give you joy. So Venus in Gemini is going to help you find money using your brain, and it will also help you spend money. So be careful. With Venus in your head, you'll need to consciously keep your feet on the ground. You can try some kind of appreciation practice to help keep you focused on what is truly important in your life, so that when you're out in the world, you're rooted in your true values. An appreciation practice can be, for example, writing a daily list of 10 things you appreciate right now. It can also be the practice of receiving everyone you encounter with unconditional love. Appreciation is a higher vibration of gratitude. It is an acknowledgement of the perfection in you and an acknowledgement of the perfection of everything around you. If you're in true appreciation of the world around you, you don't need to acquire things. And so this practice will help ground you during this time. Forgiveness is also an excellent appreciation practice to use while the sun is in Cancer. When the dark emotions come up and you become aware of your internal wounding, forgive the people who wronged you, but most importantly, forgive yourself, because you're most likely harboring some kind of misdirected anger at yourself for something that wasn't ever your responsibility. It was never your fault, and you never deserved to beat yourself up as much as you've been beating yourself up. All right, so I kind of feel like that's it for right now, but that was probably enough. We have a full moon coming up in Cancer on July 9th, so I will be writing and publishing a full moon report on my blog, and be sure to check in on my blog on that. And again, reminder, please sign up to get my podcast and my blog delivered right to your inbox. And leave your comments on the page, and I guess that's it. I'm willing to let this be it. All right, friends, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love from a very beautiful, sunny, and warm Zagreb, Croatia. All right, friends, bye for now.